Okay, here we go. Time for another video. So A.A.W. I'll probably be posting. I don't know whenever. I don't want to be like treating it like humorous mode for Broken Revolution, where I just like upload multiple videos non-stop about schedule. Now, if anything, A.A.W. is gonna be probably like when I did the SmackDown GM mode. I'm probably not gonna do SmackDown GM mode anymore, just so I can have less things to do. Since I do have a whole lot of things going at the moment and a plan that I do have in store right now. So anyway, A.A.W. Royal Rumble pay-per-view time. So here we go. So the original plan, well, for the last video, which was A.A.W. Week 2, the Royal Rumble was supposed to be in Chicago, but I did screw up everything. Some way, somehow, I completely forgot what I did, but I did screw up everything, which were all the created, like, independent Ring of Honor PWG guys that are on the Federation Online roster. As see that Randy Orton picks up victory against Daniel Bryan. We are going to set a rivalry between them. It hasn't really had that much storyline. So that's that, I guess. So Orton picks up victory against Bryan, and we do have 99 overall attributes in popularity and everything else. All 99 attributes for every wrestler on the A.A.W. roster, and including some of the created wrestlers that are supposed to be like independent guys like Ring of Honor and PWG for the humorous mode. I still need to create like 2 more guys as well, but now if I do restart, if I want to do a different brand on career mode, if I want to control, for example, if I want to control like Federation Online or Strong Style Wrestling or any other brand like UKW or Maple Leaf Grappling or Super Lucha Libre, then if I do restart it, then it's just gonna like take away all the created wrestlers I did for humorous mode. So if we do want to do if we do want to take control of a different brand, well then we're just gonna have to keep control of A.A.W, but he's changed the rosters a bit, I guess. So, and Leah picks up victory against Mickie James. So, Leah, she successfully retains her A.A.W Women's Championship. We are going to simulate every matchup in the pay-per-view besides the 3 most important matches, which is the United States Championship matchup as Cesaro defends his newly won United States Championship against the former champion that he did defeat to win it against Neville. And the A.A.W World Championship is on the line as AJ Styles defends it against number 1 contender Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura, of course, won a 6-man elimination match on A.A.W Week 1 to become number 1 contender. So Styles defense against Nakamura. Later on pay-per-view, we're going to have 2 parts to this, mostly because this first part is like half an hour. And the Cesaro and Neville match takes forever, probably because of the all 99 attributes. Cena and Miz, there's been a little bit of rivalry between these two, and John Cena picks up a victory against the Miz. We did have the Miz challenge Cena, since Cena did defeat him in the whole fail four between Cena, Miz, Bryan, and Orton, which is why we had Dan Bryan versus Randy Orton, which is why we had John Cena versus the Miz, since Cena did pin the Miz in that fail four. So, 3 matches down. Luckily, we got enough storylines. So, also, that's, I guess, is good. So, John Cena picks up victory against Miz. Next up, Hardcore Championship is on the vacant Hardcore title, as we have Undertaker against Mojo. Remember, on week 2, we did have 2 Hardcore title qualifications. One between Braun Strowman versus Samoa Joe versus Kane versus Seth Rollins. The other one between Undertaker, Shane McMahon, Sheamus, and Dolph Ziggler. Taker won that fail foray, and Joe won the other fail foray. So they face off against each other here tonight. We're going to simulate who's going to become the first ever Hardcore champion, and it is going to be Undertaker. Usually when I think of, usually when I just think of someone holding the Hardcore title, at least back then for like WWF and like for some of the Ruthless Aggression era in WWE, I usually don't really think Undertaker. So, but that is kind of surprising. I will think Samoa Joe if the Hardcore title era does come back, which I highly doubt it, or even the ECW title in general. I will think Samoa Joe, but yeah, that's that. So we also have the New Age Outlaws defend their A.A.W tag titles against some contenders, the Hardy Boys. Remember, the Hardy Boys did defeat the Dudley Boys on week 1 to become number 1 contenders, with the 2 special guest referees being none other than the New Age Outlaws, granting the number 1 contenders shot. We could have added an Edge and Christian instead of the Hardy Boys. Understand, Dudley Boys. We'll give Edge and Christian a shot later on. There probably will be in the Royal Rumble or not. It is going to be a 25-man Royal Rumble because we added 30 men. It's just going to be too difficult to like actually pick them And so we probably might be picking the same guy over and over. And the Hardy Boys become the new AAW Tag Team Champions. So that's that. So here's the thing. For the Cesaro vs. Snow matchup is very, very lengthy. The matchup takes forever. So thinking about the Royal Rumble with all 99 attributes, we're gonna have to either shrink down the attributes if it does take forever. We are gonna do the Royal Rumble in Exhibition mode just so it won't be any glitchy, and also just so no one gets seriously injured and hopefully no one dies in the game, because then that was completely ruin everything, and then I don't want to create another character that person. So yeah, that's that. And I don't want that to happen, so we're gonna do a Rumble in Exhibition mode, and the final two men who were there in the matchup, we're gonna keep simulating. I'll like do a quick jump cut, keep simulating a matchup between those final two men off camera, and then keep simulating until we get the same winner as the Royal Rumble 1 between the final two men. So anyway, next matchup, here we go. This is how we're gonna end off part 1. Part 2 is gonna be the AAW World Championship matchup between Styles and Nakamura, and the 25-man Royal Rumble matchup, since we are in January in this calendar. So yeah. And then we are going on tour as of, well, since I did restart like the whole thing, we are going on tour. Yeah, we are going on tour for what, February or March? I can't remember. I'll check back on it later in the calendar. So that'll be good. We'll probably do some 2 in your house things, like the WWF in your house special things, like I don't know, something like that, and also blah blah blah. So yeah. And now Neville, the Fisherman Suplex, trying to get a victory over Cesaro, trying to make him win this matchup. Well, judging on the time limit, whatever it is right now, definitely not even close. Having passed by half an hour, all that much. So this is gonna take a while. This is gonna be super boring to commentate, to be fair, but it's gonna be a back and forth contest. So yeah. And there goes Cesaro off the top rope. Now we're going to try to go high risk. Misses the shooting star press. Kind of like a crossbody there. Transitioning to a crossbody. So now missing that, but he does bring down Cesaro moments ago. Now remember, both these men need to be careful for countouts. Well, especially Neville. Well, only Neville, to be fair. Cesaro, at this point, you can tell he doesn't care. He just wants to win. He just wants to stay United States champion. And Neville, he wants to win back that United States Championship. Remember, Neville is the face for this referee. Cesaro, he is the heel. So, Antonio Cesaro, I should say. Well, we have Adrian Neville, so we're based this off like 2013 NXT type here. So, yeah. 2013, 2014. So, yeah. And there goes Neville off the ring apron. Taking a nasty bump on the outside off the stiff punch from Antonio Cesaro. And now Cesaro. Definitely a Warrior United States champion. Both these men will be 2 great main eventers later on in the AAW career mode. What if we do season 2? Well, judging by this, since AAW is going to be a little bit more like quicker to do, because we're actually basing it off a schedule in the game and numerous mode for like Raw, SmackDown, ECW, and not to mention the Raw pre-show Heat, the ECW pre-show Metal, the SmackDown pre-show Velocity, and then just the joint branded show Superstars, which is basically our NXT roster, and also our pay-per-views, whether if it's Raw exclusive, SmackDown exclusive, ECW exclusive, or joint branded sometimes. It's going to take forever to go into a season 2, and we're probably not going to even do a season 2, to be fair. And if we do, well then, oh man, what did I set myself up to? But we do have a whole lot of pay-per-views to go through as well, and we've only done not that many. We've done 1 Raw exclusive, 1 SmackDown exclusive, 1 ECW exclusive, and 1 joint branded one. So yeah, out of like 20 or 30 some pay-per-views. Now I'm kidding, I don't think we have 30 some. We have like 20 some pay-per-views. So yeah, that's gonna take a while to do, and if we do have 30 some pay-per-views, well then, oh man. So AAW is going to be a little bit more quicker, so it's going to probably be easier to do season 2, or probably might do just, once we finish AAW, we could like change up the rosters to do a GM mode to just take place over the old SmackDown GM mode we did, and then we only went up to Judgment Day. But it was based off on Exhibition mode, so we could go back to doing it, I guess, but I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, I'm not feeling up to doing the SmackDown Ruthless Aggression era GM mode. Not feeling up to doing it. But once we are able to finish the AAW career mode here, so we could either do a season 2, which probably will come after when we do a GM mode on the same AAW thing, with like the SmackDown versus Raw type GM mode, where the most subscribers you could get is like 20 in a roster. But we're not gonna do that, since that is actually gonna, I don't necessarily like that roster slot all that much, so we'll change it up to 30. And Neville, high flying ability of him, able to pull off some great 5-star matches. So is Antonio Cesaro. Both these men great. They have great in-ring ability. Cesaro definitely highly athletic. So is Neville. Neville the more athletic, I guess you would say, but definitely Neville lacks the strength department that Cesaro does have over him. But I see Neville with the Hurricanrana bringing down Cesaro. And I'm feeling much better than yesterday, so yeah, but I woke up today with like a sore throat, and it's still kind of hurting, but yeah, I'm getting better. So, hooray, I'm feeling up to doing videos, unlike yesterday where I uploaded 3 and I didn't really want to do a voiceover all that much. So, yeah, I did previously actually record this video last night, but since it was like getting late, I didn't bother to do a voiceover and upload it because I just didn't feel up to doing it. So, yeah, I still need to record, and then after that do a voiceover, and then upload compressed process part 2 after Royal Rumble PPV. So yeah, that's gonna take a while. It's gonna probably take like an hour or 2 hour differential, depending on how long this is gonna take to upload, and depending on when I feel like actually doing part 2, and if I actually do a voiceover immediately after I finish actually originally recording it. And Fisherman Suplex from Cesaro. Strength of Cesaro to just lift up Adrian Neville and another elbow drop, and onto the pin. The ref into the count, and only a 1 count. The referee is Triple H. German suplex from now to the pin. Could have him here. That's a 2 count, and that was close to a 3 right there. The referee is Triple H, so we're having Triple H control this company, basically. Because Triple H probably the only wrestler I'm not gonna really use in the AAW career mode, only for like special reasons, I guess. So yeah, and even he has all 99 attributes. So yeah, but we do have Triple H in the SmackDown roster in the DX tag team with Shawn Michaels over on SmackDown in the Universe mode, and they're currently the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So yeah, next episode in Universe mode we have to do is SmackDown's pre-show Velocity. Then that we actually have to do the whole SmackDown episode with 5 matches, stuff like that, and the main event definitely gonna be a blockbuster main event. So don't miss out on that for whenever SmackDown comes out. But we still need to do Velocity. We still need to do 3 matches, of course, for Velocity. I'll probably be shrinking it down to 2, starting on week 12. Probably shrink down Metal to 2 matches, Velocity to 2 matches, and Heat to 2 matches. So, yeah, starting on week 12. We're still in week 11. Once we pass by Velocity, which is SmackDown's pre-show, the regular SmackDown episode, and then Superstars episode 3, which is on week 11. Then we're going to go on to week number 12. We'll probably shrink down Superstars to probably 3 matches, since it does have an equal amount as Raw, SmackDown, and ECW with 5. So we'll probably shrink down Superstars to 3, since it's not all that important. It's just like there to really just give an NXT title shot to Superstars who don't really usually get shown all that much on Raw, SmackDown, ECW. Although pretty much most of Raw Superstars really actually do get shown on Raw. Well, especially the newer talents like Silas Young or Brian Cage. So yeah, but like for sometimes some tag team stables like Los Guerreros over on SmackDown, they don't usually get shown on SmackDown, probably because I don't have a storyline really set up for them. And legends like Mr. Perfect, who is the NXT champion, and he is on SmackDown. So yeah, like Superstars would be like their own separate thing, but they're still technically on their respective brand / roster, like Raw, SmackDown, or ECW. At this point, SmackDown holds the NXT championship. Number 1 contender for the NXT title is SmackDown's Chavo Guerrero. He did win a number 1 contenders matchup on Superstars, and champion is SmackDown's Mr. Perfect. So so basically SmackDown, they're gonna have the NXT title either way after their SmackDown exclusive Bound for Glory pay-per-view, which is gonna be after Raw's Sealed Fate pay-per-view, and it's gonna be the NXT championship receiver. There's Cesaro hitting neutralizer on the ring apron, but it doesn't matter if he does go for a pin, because in the ring apron, pinfalls or submissions will not count. So yeah, doesn't necessarily matter. In the ring, yes, and that probably will put away Neville, probably. So now here's what I'm mostly scared about at this point. With the all 99 attributes, it'll probably pull off super long matches on numerous mode, and numerous mode is like, usually like half an hour. So SmackDown, week 10? SmackDown week 10 was 56 minutes. That was my longest show in numerous mode so far. Now, if anything, the live from the MSG pay-per-view was like an hour and 2 minutes and something seconds, or like an hour and 4 minutes and something seconds. But that's shrinking down to like 2 parts, including the pre-show. But the pre-show was going to be its own separate part either way. And so, but that was without the 99 attributes. So if we do have these long matches with 99 attributes, like this Cesaro and Nero matchup, well then, I am going to have to shrink down the attributes back to their normal attributes, I guess, if I could remember, or shrink it down to a realistic one that I think, in my opinion, will be accurate. And no, I'm not going to be biased to any wrestlers. I'll probably be biased because of the popularity. So like, I'll give Neville and Cesaro more popularity than what they already have. I'll probably give popularity all 99 overalls, all 99% of popularity to like every superstar if I do have to shrink down the attributes, so it won't be as long matches on your mode. Because then if it ends up being like 40 minutes for like Raw, SmackDown, or AAW episode, I necessarily don't really want that. I mean, A.A.W could be a little bit longer because it's like usually in like the 18-minute, or it's usually in the 18-minute or 25-second, I mean not the 18-minute or 25-minute time mark compared to like Raw or SmackDown, which Raw is like usually 30 minutes, SmackDown is usually like 33 or 34 minutes. So yes, in SmackDown they do have the better roster. So basically that's that, I guess. But if the attributes is going to be a problem making the matches more longer than what they are supposed to be, unlike if there's like always going to be at least one 20-minute matchup for like Raw, SmackDown, or AAW, and at this point it's only been for SmackDown, and those 20-minute matchups have been some of the best matchups on yours. Well, no, those 20-minute matchups have actually been, to me, and in the record books, the best matches on yours mode have belonged to SmackDown, well, at least the majority, with those two 20-minute matches. So yeah. So I guess we could have at least one long 20-minute matchup, but one that I decide most likely to be the main event, probably. But if these all 99 attributes are going to be a problem by making the matches super long, well then I will shrink it down. So we are going to see for velocity. Velocity is not supposed to be that long. I do not want velocity to be like half an hour, since it's like the pre-show. It's going to be 3 matches, so I could shrink down to 2, along with Heat and Metal, starting on week 12. So it's going to be the last pre-show that we do that has 3 matches. So yeah. So Raw, Heat, Velocity, I mean not Raw, Heat, Metal, Velocity, they shrink down to 2 matches starting on week 12. And so we'll see how long that will be with all 99 attributes. And if SmackDown's going to take forever with the 99 attributes, well then I'll at least keep the main event long. Probably because the main event is most likely definitely going to be good. But for all the other matches, they could be like at least the 4 or 5 minute time mark, which usually is like the time limit, or like 7 or 8 minutes to be fair. Tag team matches will probably be like 11 minutes. Hopefully shorter than 11 by like probably 8, because I don't usually like tag team matches that are that long in the game, because they do tend to be boring. So yeah, like a short and sweet tag team matchup with enough storytelling, like not 3 or 4 minutes, probably depending on the sequences in storytelling, but probably like at least, I don't know, 7 or 8 will be good enough. 8, 9, 10. 10 is a little bit pushing it. 11, short. 12 is just going to get boring. Anything over 12, anything over 11, most definitely can get a little boring to see. There's Cesaro crashed and burned to the outside off the dropkick from now. And there we go, a little tiny swanton from now. So now you got to think here. No, definitely, if he does not win the Nicest Championship, definitely will be entered into the Royal Rumble matchup. But even if, like, let's say Cesaro loses the championship, or Cesaro retains the championship, either Cesaro or now can be in the Royal Rumble. But we do have definitely more larger roster than 25 men, so give those 25 slots to men who haven't been shown on the card yet, or probably give it to some who have been shown on the card. Not necessarily too sure about that, but I do know with only having 6 matches on a regular show that we're not gonna be able to showcase all the much wrestlers. So we'll probably like have a whole just you'll be shown on TV battle royal, I guess, to kick things off on AAW. Once we do schedule up a match card for like the second, third, fourth, and fifth, and sixth matches, 6 matchups. And then after that, to kick things off, we'll probably like have a whole battle royal, like triple threat fair for it to like actually showcase people on the roster, because we did have to get rid of 3 people just so we could actually stay in business. Well, at least that's what Vince McMahon told us tonight, because we had to restart the whole thing. Well, at least I had to restart the whole thing off camera, which is why the Royal Rumble is now in New York instead of Chicago. So yeah, so that kind of sucks. I was planning on like having the whole storyline where I made CM Punk the last entrant, because it was in Chicago. Yeah, that was originally my plan for Royal Rumble, but now that it's in New York, that kind of sucks. So don't worry, CM Punk not gonna be the last entrant, or will he? I don't know. I'm kind of spoiling a whole lot of stuff here, but don't worry. I'm not even sure yet, to be fair. I'm just probably doing the random order. I do have an idea of 2 superstars I want to get a push. So, yeah. And now 5.5 rated. No lie, this is actually kind of an accurate star rating, because these 2 men, to be fair, will pull off a great matchup either way. Sadly, Neville was like no longer in WWE, so like that kind of sucks. When he was Adrian Neville in NXT, that was definitely enjoyable. Same like both Cesaro, he's always enjoyable, but definitely the Antonio Cesaro gimmick was a little bit, I don't know, the Real American thing was a little bit lackluster. Because to me, it didn't make sense because he wasn't American, so yeah, but the wrestling ability of both these men, definitely superior of like some other superstars. See, there's Cesaro now in the power driver on the outside to now. Cesaro wouldn't care if he gets count of victory here, just cares about retaining that United States Championship. So now you gotta think how many times the United States title has changed hands. It's only changed hands once, and that was in week 1 when Neville lost it in a backstage brawl to Cesaro. And so the original plan was to make it a non-title matchup, to be fair, and Cesaro did defeat Neville, well, then he'll become number 1 contender. But I forgot to change it to a non-title matchup, so then when I did the voiceover, I was like, I didn't want to point out my mistake, and I was like, well, okay, well, then that's that. Even though my original plan was to make a non-title matchup, and then when I screwed up, and when I realized I screwed up while I was doing the voiceover, I just didn't say anything. So yeah, that's really the story of that. The original plan was supposed to be a non-title matchup, so that kind of sucks. So at this point now, should still be champion, and he should be defending it against Cesaro. But where both these men have been on the outside ring for definitely a lengthy amount of time. Cesaro getting back inside the ring now. So Cesaro, if he does get counted out, doesn't matter, because then he retains the championship. Nice suplex side headlock takedown from the Swiss Cyborg, the Swiss Superman Cesaro. I like the Swiss Superman better than Swiss Cyborg. Neville into the pin, trying to steal victory right there against Cesaro. But no, remember Cesaro outmatch is now not in athletic ability. If anything, that will beat Cesaro in that, but Cesaro does outmatch him in strength. But no, does outmatch him in speed. That's the order. There goes Cesaro, crashing and burning to the outside. That is Antonio Cesaro, but no, he's starting to get a little bit weak here. So is Cesaro. And nice tiny swanton there once again from Adrian. Now looking to walk out here tonight in New York in the Royal Rumble pay-per-view with the United States Championship that he first held. And then Cesaro, of course, won on week 1. So, yeah. And now with the sleeper hold, both men count 6 here. No, drop kick in the air, missing everything. Well, missing Cesaro especially. And so at this point, Cesaro, he's getting weak. Now he's getting weak. Both men getting exhausted. This matchup's been going on for a while. It's been going on a little longer than what I really should have. But I guess that's not an attribute. If this does go on into universe mode, probably because it's exhibition mode, they probably won't be having that much long matches. But we have had like 2 20-minute matches. One being like 20 minutes there. One being like 23, 24, 25 minutes. Both of which have been SmackDown matches. One in the Live and MSG pay-per-view there, one in just a regular SmackDown matchup, and one of those ones being in week 10. So, I believe week 10. Oh man, yeah, week 10. So, my bad just had to yawn there. So, oh man, part one. This thing for I swear this feels like a regular episode of Raw on numerous modes. Cause to be fair, now this one matchup is gonna take this long. Then imagine how long Raw's gonna take. Cause by the time this video ends, this is actually already the time limit for a regular Raw episode on numerous mode. And then one matchup here with 99 attributes taking up this amount of time. Nope, not happening. Not happening, so we're going to probably have to shrink down the attributes, well, depending on how long matches are going to be on Velocity, and then depending on how long matches are going to be on SmackDown, then so on, so forth. For pay-per-views, it'll be acceptable, I guess, for some of them, depending on the amount of space I have. So, yeah. That's Cesaro with an ankle lock. On to Neville quickly getting off that. Neville momentarily had Cesaro, has him by the legs now, and now Adrian now gets sent to the ring apron. Neville once again gets on the ring apron. Cesaro manhandling him, bringing him back into the ring. Nice stiff clothesline. Nice stiff standing clothesline. Cesaro has him up. What a body slam from Antonio. Cesaro off the ropes goes down. Oh, never mind. Cesaro with the trying to probably leaping DT or leaping Hurricane. Cesaro, the strength of Cesaro, it's just easily counter. Lift up Neville and throw him over the top rope. Now taking a nasty landing on the outside, looking to regain some momentum, has the announce table, sets it back up, probably looking to put Cesaro through that, and Cesaro just hitting him with the weapon. Can't see, yeah, that is fork. Body slam with the fork as well. Now with the office chair. Remember, if Cesaro does get disqualified, doesn't matter. Neville technically wins, but Cesaro stays champion. If Neville gets disqualified, well then same rules. This time Cesaro technically wins, but still retain his title either way via disqualification or via countout or via forfeit. So Cesaro definitely does have an advantage as the champion. Neville has a disadvantage as challenger, and a Hurricane perfectly executed from Adrian Neville. Now to a camel clutch with the phone. No disqualification rules. On the outside, you could use furniture on the inside of the ring. Doesn't matter for that, but for weapons, you can't use it on the inside ring. You'll get disqualified. On the outside ring, you can use it. But remember, the 10 counts. Depending on when you go to the outside, that will be your number. For example, Cesaro on count of 5 now. He did go on the outside of the ring. A little bit after Neville, which is why Neville was shortly on the count of 7. Which was 2 more seconds higher than the United States champion, Antonio Cesaro. Now the leg strength submission maneuver by Adrian. Now this has been a hell of a matchup so far, to be fair. So the rope break for Cesaro. Cesaro limping now. Definitely did get best of him. Hammerlock trying to rip apart the arm of Adrian Neville. Transitioning it. Cesaro does get countered. And kind of ice type submission maneuver from Neville. Cesaro has him up. Baby suplex by Cesaro to Neville. Now a simple punch right into the jaw. And there goes Neville off of the ring apron. From the stiff clothesline. Nice counter. Stunner. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Gonna be happy about that. Stone Cold Steve Austin. We shall see if he does enter the Royal Rumble, because he was in the 6-man elimination matchup in the main event of A.A.W. Week 1 to determine a number contender for AJ Styles' A.A.W. World Championship. And forgive me if I'm like blabbering on and if I like cannot pronounce like names or like any type of sentence correctly. I did just wake up like literally probably not even an hour ago or probably an hour ago, and so I'm having tongue tie a little bit here, but I always actually have that when I do voiceovers for some apparent reason. Not in real life, but when I do voiceovers here. Don't know why. I talk fast. And now that'll be a rope break for Neville. Luckily, nice counter to a snapmare to a sleep hold. And now, Cesaro, he actually tried counter there, brainbuster from Neville. Has my Fishman suplex. Here we go. But that will be another rope break, because that's just a glitch in game. Now we're going to try to do a pin shortly after that. And so, we'll need a 2 count. Now we're just simply getting shoved from Cesaro. That's going to be a rope break from the ankle lock. And nice dropkick from Neville. And another dropkick. There goes Cesaro to the outside. And now the challenger, the former United States champion, Adrian Neville, on the roll here against now United States champion Antonio Cesaro. Nice counter to a fake four lock of his own that Cesaro transition to. Simple elbow right to the kidney slash back slash, I don't know, back to shoulder, I guess, if I would say so myself. I'm not fully sure what it was. Cesaro just going to simply sit down on the office chair, catch a breather here. Doing a little bit of showbone, doing a little bit of taunting. Now Triple H, he's the referee here. Since our referee, Earl Hebner, he is actually injured. Or Earl Hathaway, which is his name in the game, but his real name, we all could tell, that's probably the most famous referee of all time, Earl Hebner. And now, nice counter with the reverse DT from Cesaro to the pin on Neville. Neville getting drilled down onto the mat. His head getting drilled down onto the mat. Shades of a bit of sting there. And, well, Neville missing the dropkick when Cesaro went off the ropes. Cesaro has no body slam. And they shown the whole ring just shook from the strength of Neville, the way, well, not strength, no, the strength of Cesaro and the way Neville absolutely just landed on the mat. Trying to do a kick up, doesn't have enough energy to actually fully stand up off that. And a nice suplex. Just a simple suplex from Cesaro. Made that look devastating, though. Anyway, now, Neville trying to have up Cesaro, probably was concept for like powerbomb or power driver. Cesaro with a simple counter, but nice counter to a side takedown from Neville. Adrian now could have one here. Only a 2 count. And so Cesaro, champion, he is on dream streak, sir. He does miss the shoulder block off top rope. And now Neville, with the upper hand here, has Cesaro nails the Hurricane into the pin. 1, 2. Can this one be it? 3. And Neville picking up the victory with his perfectly executed, beautifully made Hurricane 5.7 rated matchup. And Leisham Cesaro has now dropped his United States Championship to the first ever United States Champion of AAW. And, well, to its original holder, Adrian Neville, as Neville wins back his United States Championship. We do have 44 employees, counting Triple H. Although we're not going to use Triple H because he's just a manager. We could put Triple H in matches, but no. So, yeah. Technically, we have 43 employees. Owner, still Vince McMahon, blah, blah. But we do technically actually have 43 employees. If you want to count wrestlers, 44 counting Triple H as the general manager. But, yeah. We have 21 faces, 22 heels if you want to count just everyone besides Vince McMahon and besides Triple H. So yeah, we do have enough people to set for the 25 men Royal Rumble matchup. We're probably not gonna use people who were originally on the card. If we do run out of names, well then we are gonna use people who were on the card in like some of the earlier stages of the matches. Probably, I'm not fully sure. We're definitely not gonna use either AJ Styles, because he probably might still be a champion, or probably might not be a champion. Nor are we going to use Shinsuke Nakamura, because he probably might still be, no, he probably might not be a champion. Or he probably might be the new champion. We don't know. Or at least I don't know yet, because I haven't actually done that video yet. I will know in a couple of minutes, I guess. Anyway, thank you guys for watching part 1 of the Royal Rumble PPV. Part 2 will be coming shortly after, probably in like an hour or two, since I'm going to be too lazy to do anything. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.